So it takes great delight in introducing our very own Swarnima Rawat. Swarnima and I go back many years. We were undergrad friends, best friends, who did history honors at Hansraj College, and we had dreams. Our first dream was to be IAS officers. But as luck would have it, both of us never sat for the exam. So I don't know what we had planned. She had planned to roam around all over India with her husband who was in the forces. And she continued to pursue her studies. She did a master's in English literature. And today she's come back. She's the editor of our newsletter and our journal. And she's a very, very important pillar of the Institute, a very dear friend. And here she is today. She will be talking about, oh, I married, oops, or I would say, oh, I married a Pahari. She's married to her Pahari, and she'll be talking a lot about that. And it'll give us a sense of, what marriages are with the Paharis. Are they all that good? Are they, do they have a lot of stories like, the plain folks? So that'll be all that Swarnima will be talking about, and about culture and about heritage of the Garhwal region. And after Swarnima is done, we will have a quick round of question and answers, and then we will go over to the next session today, which is all about healing, where we have Reena Solanki. She'll be talking about yoga. We will have Ray Younis, who will actually give a free session on vibrational healing, which you will experience from the comforts of your rooms, and you will be blown away, as I was, because there's no logic to it. It just rejuvenates you like I can't even explain what it is. You have to experience it to see it, because it gives you centeredness, and it can't be expressed in words. That's what I'd say. And after that, we have Dr. Lakpa Dolma, who's a practitioner of Tibetan medicine, the Sowa Rigpa lineage, which is a 2,000-year-old lineage. And she's also joined the Himalayan Institute into providing these services online from the comfort of your home. So a very important part of what the Institute does is wellness. So that's a unit which was named after my mother, Raka Wellness Center. I lost her exactly a year ago. So we started a free clinic in Kullu for the villagers. And now we've kind of extended our arms. So Reena, who was actually her nurse, is a certified yoga instructor. She's got over 8 years of experience in treating patients, physiotherapy and all of that. So if you come to Dhami, you can engage with wellness as well. So our whole purpose is to do things that connect us to our past and make our present and future better, be it healing, be it wellness, be it research, be it anything that makes things that matter come to the fore and connect us with good things in life, in a good environment, and makes us have our holidays be all rejuvenating. So that's the whole purpose, preservation and conservation of Himalayan, of things Himalayan. That's the only commonality with all of us here. We love the mountains. So without wasting much more time, here we are with Swarnima Rawat, and oh, I married a Pahari. Here you go, Swarnima.
Thank you so much, Sonali, for some very kind words. And I would just like to say thank you for all to be being a part of this small presentation that I am going to put forward to you, and I'm going to take you to all things Pahari.
Great.
Marriage is not a noun, it's a verb. It isn't something you get, it's something you do. It's the way you love your partner every day. Well, marriage is one of the oldest social institutions in the world, and it still holds relevance. And I'm here to take you to a Pahari wedding, give you a glimpse of a Garhwali wedding to be more precise, because oh, I married a Pahari.
Yeah, I think you just need to scroll down.
Yeah, yeah, just doing that. Just give me a minute. Just a minute, yeah. Can you see?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah. So that's a little something about me, which is as a kid, I was born in Jaipur and moved from Ajmer to Dehradun to Delhi. And the mountains grew on me. So I've just been trying to tell you a little tale about myself. Uh, we are here at the Himalayan Institute, and you must be wondering why I'm talking about marriage when we should be discussing the Himalayas. My connection with the mountains initially was just maybe going for a vacation during our summer breaks. And then I did my primary schooling from Dehradun. That was about it. Little did I know that love is what is going to take me to the mountains and get me connected to the Himalayas. And that is how my story begins. Well, Manu has spoken about 8 forms of marriages in Hinduism. And of all the marriages, I chose the Gandharv marriage along with my husband. And my connection with the mountains began here. Gandharv is marriage by mutual consent, and love marriage, as many of us call it. And that is how the entire connection with the Himalayas began. And you'll be surprised to know that the Gandharva Vivah was actually the name Gandharv was taken from a tribe that inhabited the slopes of the Himalayas, and they widely practiced this concept, this thing of marriage by mutual consent, and that is why the entire thing that Gandharva Vivah took its name. So it has a very Himalayan connect, and so did I. A love marriage, a Gandharva Vivah, going back to the mountains and starting my journey in the mountains. So I belong to Lucknow, and my husband hails from a small village called Kolamalla, and in the Garhwali region. And that is exactly where I love to be, and that's what the mountains keep calling. So a small being from the city of Delhi, the humdrum of the city life, you would know, actually gave a pretty insipid color to life. But it was the mountains and love that added hues and colors to my life. And Uttarakhand basically is the 27th state of the country, and has many regions, out of which Garhwal and Pori are the 2 main regions, along with Jaunsar and Bawar. And they say that in India, language and culture changes every 50 to 100 kilometers. And that is true for the state of Uttarakhand as well, wherein this Garhwal region has a very distinct set of rituals, traditions, language, jewelry, and so much more. And that's what makes it very different from the rest of the regions. And as we say, Suon, welcome to Garhwal. So now I'm showing you a picture of rhododendrons, or buranch, as we call it in Garhwal, which is the state flower. And it blooms across the valleys of Garhwal, along with the rhodos or buranch. There's the Brahma Kamal, which is often associated with the gods That is why it is called the Brahm Kamal. It blooms only at night, and it takes days to bloom, and has been offered to gods in the temples of Kedarnath, Badrinath, wherein for any auspicious occasion or a festival, the Buranj and the Brahm Kamal are often used as offerings. Why I'm showing you these two is specifically because with these flowers have inspired many motifs across the houses, the jewelry, the culture, and the lifestyle of the Garhwali people in Uttarakhand. And as we progress on the presentation, you will be able to see that how the flora and the fauna have inspired the lives of the people in the Garhwal region. So, as I mentioned, that Garhwal region has its own set of traditions and rituals. It has a very distinct heritage. The houses are extremely different. The motifs that they use are all inspired by the Himalayas. It is the Himalayas that unify people across the Garhwal region, and that's what makes them distinct. After this brief of Garhwal, I'd like to now take you to the main aspect that we are here for, the Pahari wedding or the Garhwali wedding that we're going to discuss. And I'm going to take you on a journey of the traditions, the jewelry, the food, the rituals of a Garhwali wedding, which some of you might associate with because like in India, it's weddings across are usually big, loud. It's the same for Garhwal as well. So let's start. We start with the attire of the Garhwal region, wherein the attire usually reflects the influence of the mountains, the weather, the temperature, and the environment. People usually like to dress up in colors and fabric that is inspired by the local regions. Cotton and wool are usually preferred. The men usually wear kurta pajamas or dhotis or chudidar along with kurta. They wear a topi. A Garhwali topi is extremely typical. And older men also prefer wearing a pagri as headgear. And they usually wear common colors or maybe, grays and pastels that find influence. Occasions, festivals, find them donning colors, bright colors that match the festivities of the day. The Garhwali women are more experimental, like they always are, and they wear saris. Now, these saris across India, people wear saris in a particular manner, but for Garhwali women, they wear the sari in a very particular manner, wherein the pallu comes in the front and is tied on the shoulder with the help of a piece of cloth or a jewelry. It is knotted on the shoulder, which makes it easy for them to do their work along with participate in the household chores or doing anything, maybe just dancing around or doing, feeding their kids or working in the farms. So this ensemble is usually tied across with a kamarband or a waistband, which is usually made out of silver or maybe a cloth band. You wear a full sleeve blouse, which is called the angra, which is specific to the Garhwali region, and makes the sari even more beautiful than it is. The bride and the groom. Now, coming to the marriage part of Pahari culture, the groom, yellow is an extremely important color in Garhwal, and the groom usually wears yellow kurta with a dhoti or a churidar or a pajama, and he usually wears a topi also. Now, jewelry is an extremely important part in Garhwal as well. They might wear a matar mala or maybe a necklace pearls, which makes their entire ensemble more interesting, you know, and that's what differentiates them from the other people who are at the wedding. Coming to the bride, like in India, red is the color for prosperity and beauty, and that is what Garhwali women usually wear for their weddings, whether it's a sari or a ghagra, which is usually accompanied with a red bindi and sindoor and jewelry, complementary jewelry, you know, that complements their outfit. Their trousseau is dominated by the color red, and it marks a state of happiness for the bride as well, you know, to you know, make the occasion more festive. From the attire, let's move to the jewelry, which forms an extremely important part of Garhwali culture, or Indian culture, to be more broadly specific. Garhwali jewelry is extremely beautiful, full of grace and elegance, and comprises many different parts. Traditional Garhwali jewelry has the matpedu, as I just told you, which is worn on the forehead, the nuts or the nathuli, the kanful, the gulaband. Jewelry is an integral part of any Garhwali wedding, which is fashioned usually out of gold or silver, depending on your family status. It adds grace and beauty to the rich culture and tradition of the Garhwal region. Now, I'll show you each and every jewelry specifically and show you the beautiful pieces so that you can appreciate the Garhwali jewelry. This is the Tihri Nath, as you can see, or the Nathuli, as we call it in Garhwal. It is one of the most important pieces of jewelry for any married woman in Garhwal. And they say that the Nath reflects the status of your husband. So as your husband's status rises, so does the size of your nath. So my mother-in-law, for that matter, has a nath that you know, she wears in her neck as a necklace, you know, to show you the emphasis of and the importance of the nath in the Garhwali region. And the nath is beautifully carved with motifs that are taken from the flora and fauna of the Garhwal region, including the Buranch, the Brahm Kamal. They'll have beautiful motifs, the pearls that are there. The nath is extremely important in Garhwali culture, as it is worn for almost all the occasions. Any wedding that you attend, any festival that you have, any occasion, you're part of any occasion, a married woman is supposed to wear her nath, and that's what differentiates her from the others, you know, that she is married. Coming to the next very important piece of jewelry that for a married woman in Garhwal is the galoband. Now, the galoband is only worn by married women. And as the name suggests, the galoband, it's like a choker which sits snug on your neck and is usually, you know, set on a piece of red velvet cloth, wherein motifs are set on gold, which is then sewn on the red velvet. And it adds a completely beautiful piece of elegance to your entire day, to your entire ensemble, your trousseau. It's an integral part of your any married woman's trousseau. In trousseau, or maybe, you know, it's an integral part of any married woman's wardrobe. You have to have the galloban and the nuts. Now, the next piece of jewelry that is important is the hasuli or the khagwali. Now, the hasuli or the khagwali is like a choker. It's a necklace that is worn around the neck by women of all ages, usually made out of silver or gold. Many people make it of copper also, because depending on the depending on their financial status. And it has some of the most beautiful and exquisite designs carved on it. It is usually hollow because it is easier for women to wear the hasuli on the neck, because they usually wear it all the time. So it's a symbol of being married. And it's a fantastic piece of jewelry that I think will go work for modern day weddings as well. Now, the other part, another piece of jewelry that you must be seeing on your screens is the bulak. Now, you must be wondering that septum piercing is just a trend. Well, it isn't in Garhwal. It has been there forever. Septum piercing is an integral part of any married woman. The bulak extremely is a beautiful piece of jewelry that you wear on your septum piercing, and it has the most beautiful pieces, motifs carved onto gold or silver, depending on your status. I'm repeating this because silver and gold is equally important in jewelry in Garhwal, whether it is silver or it is gold. These pieces of jewelry, whether it's the bulak, the nathali, or the galuban, they're all they can be worn whether in gold or in silver in a Garhwali wedding. Now, the pochi. Pochi is another piece of jewelry that's extremely important for any Garhwali married woman. It's a bracelet, again, set on red velvet cloth, and it has small pearls which are beautifully carved with intricate designs. It can be a conch shell, it can be small flowers, it can be anything that any it can be any motivation that has been taken from the flora or the fauna or the surrounding Himalayas. And it's a beautiful piece of jewelry. So usually women have two sets of pochis, one for each hand. And this too can be either made out of silver or gold. And it's a beautiful piece that anybody can, even anybody non-Garhwali as well can buy. And it looks just beautiful. Now, coming to the earpieces, the kundal or the earrings, as we call it, are a must for any married woman. Traditional Garhwali jewelry, kundals were an integral part. Now, to cover the earlobe, they would wear the kanfool. Now, the kanfool is a flat disc of gold or silver, which would have beautiful engravings, beautiful carvings of flowers, or any other geometrical pattern, and it just adds even more grace and elegance to any married woman's wardrobe and jewelry collection. Then we have the poja and the bichwa. Now, the poja or the pajeb or the payal, as we call it in India, in the northern plains, is also an extremely important part of a married Garhwali woman's trousseau. And along with the pajeb, there is the bichwa. Now, the bichwa is tiny rings that are worn on the toe rings that are worn by married women. And these can be either in silver or in gold or in copper. And it has some of the most beautiful designs with small bells or gungrus, which actually enhance the beauty of any married woman in Garhwal. Another piece of traditional jewelry is the tigri or the kamarband. Now, the tigri or the kamarband is not very commonly used in the modern times, but traditional Garhwali jewelry has the kamarband, which is usually made out of silver. And it's a beautiful piece of jewelry which accentuates the beauty of any Pahari woman, and it's a must in a Garhwali woman's trousseau as well, along with the other pieces of jewelry that we have in Garhwal. There are many other pieces of jewelry that are present in Garhwal, which includes the Kanthi mala or the Matar mala or the Charyu or the Chavanni mala. Chavanni mala is a necklace made out of coins. There's the Thawak, there's the Baju Band, the Pota, the Imarti, and many other pieces that have lost their way in the modern days. But we hope for a revival. Maybe the young generation would pursue and get these for their weddings as well in Garhwal. Moving on from jewelry now, once the attire is done, the jewelry is done. What is a Garhwali wedding without food? That food is an integral part of any wedding across India, and Garhwal is no exception. Sourced from the local produce, Garhwali cuisine is absolutely finger-licking delicious. It is usually served in silver during weddings, and there is a huge variety from the gahat ki dal, the kafuli, the mandwa ki roti, the jangore ki kheer, the ghee, the bhang ki chutney, the chensu, the fanu. The list is extremely long, but it is absolutely delectable. You wouldn't want to miss it for anything. There is the kafuli, the fanu, the Garhwali fanna. There is the aloo ka gutka, the thechua, which my husband just loves, the arsa, the gulgule, and the rot, the dal ki pakodi. There, and there's an amazing amount of dishes that you find for a Garhwali wedding. And they're absolutely scrumptious, and you would just not want to finish at one, and you would just keep wanting to eat more and more. And these dishes are extremely popular with the youngsters also, and not only people, the older ones. So the flavors continue to, keep the youngsters hooked to good food. Now, coming to the rituals, I'd like to tell you that the rituals, like any other part of the country, are extremely important in Garhwal as well. So it's in Garhwal, it's not just a marriage between the bride and the groom, it's a marriage between two families. It's a marriage, it's people, it's the relatives, the family members coming in union with the others. So this is where the traditions and the rituals of Garhwal come into focus. And these play an extremely important role in a Garhwali wedding, wherein it's the initial step that starts the wedding procedures. The first rituals can be divided into pre-wedding and the post-wedding rituals. The pre-wedding starts with the matching of the horoscope or the Janam Kundli ka milap, jisme bolte, that we say, wherein we match the horoscope of the bride and the groom, and if everything works out, then the match is fixed. Uh, After the match is fixed, the families get together, and there is an exchange of rings between the bride and the groom in the engagement ceremony that happens. And this engagement ceremony is also important because this is where the groom's family hands over the nathuli or the nath, along with the matpedu, the jewelry that I just showed you, that the bride wears on the forehead, that is handed over to the bride, that to be worn on the day of the wedding. So engagement is an extremely important part of the pre-wedding ritual. After which, the arsa making. Now, arsa is an extremely important sweet, which are basically small balls made out of rice flour, and which are dipped in jaggery. So it's an integral part of any function, in any festival, any occasion, weddings especially. Arsas are usually made after the engagement is done. And along with the arsa, we also have small fritters or small balls made out of lentil, which is called the dal pakodi. Now, these two are made and distributed as prasad to the relatives, to family members, and to the community that where the bride and the groom stays. The other part of the pre-wedding ritual is the kirtan. Now, the kirtan is wherein women of the two respective families get together and they sing bhajans, or they pray to God for a successful marriage. And this is where arsa and the dal pakodi is distributed as prasad for people to take. The After the kirtan, the other important ritual in a Garhwali wedding is the bhiksha. Now, bhiksha teaches you humbleness, wherein the groom dresses in a dhoti. He just wears a dhoti and he's given a stick, and he goes around in his neighborhood and asks for alms from people. And people in return offer them rice and wheat, which is a sign of prosperity and goodwill to the groom, and wish him success in his marriage. So bhiksha is another very important part of a Garhwali wedding. The other important ritual in a Garhwali wedding is Mehndi. Now, Mehndi is an extremely emotive event. It ritualistically prepares the bride and the groom, and it beautifies the bride and groom for the wedding day, wherein you do beautiful henna designs on your hand, and the entire family members and the friends and other community members, they get together and they put mehndi on their hands to celebrate the wedding. The other very important part of a pre-wedding ritual is the haldi hath and the band snan. Now, haldi hath, I'm sure a lot of you must have heard about the haldi hath. Haldi is basically turmeric, and turmeric is mixed with mustard oil or any oil, and then an offering is made to the bride and the groom respectively in their own houses, wherein they it is applied on the bride and groom, and this after this is done, everybody gives their blessings to the bride and groom respectively. And after this is done, a ban snan. Now, snan means taking a bath. Snan is bath, taking a bath, and then a bath is given, after which the priest comes in and blesses the bride and groom respectively in their own houses. These are part of the pre-wedding rituals that are often followed, mostly followed in all Garhwali households where the wedding is taking place. And the day of the wedding is extremely important. After the haldi hath and the ban snan, what sehra bandhai is an integral part of any wedding in Garhwal, wherein the priest is called in, and he ties the sehra. The sehra, it's a small turban or a pagdi made out of cloth on the groom's head, and blesses him, that he's now moving towards the girl's house to go and get married and bring her home. So this is where the Sehra Bandhai happens, and Bhet is also given. Bhet means giving, anything that Bhet as in any gift that you like. Maybe it can be money, it can be small gifts that you exchange, give to the family members and everybody. After the Bhet happens, after the Sehra has been tied on the groom's head, Bharat is an extremely important part of any Garhwali wedding, wherein all the members of the family, friends, and others, they all get together and dance. And as they walk towards, as they move towards the bride's house, they dance to music, whether it's the dhol or the bagpipes or any other modern day music that they play with the bands. And as they proceed towards the girl's house, that yes, and announce that yes, we are here to take you with us to our family now. So Bharat is an extremely fun time wherein everybody is just having a good time, dancing. And once they reach the bride's house, that's when the bride's family members welcome the groom's family members and offer them gifts. They make them, they give them garlands to welcome them, that yes, we've been waiting for you to come now, and let's proceed for the wedding rituals that will happen. Uh, After the Bharat has entered, we have a Havan Kund, where the priests from both the families sit together and they chant, and they recite stories, and they do they tie the knot. The priest initiates the tying of the knot, wherein the bride and the groom um, actually there is a dupatta which is tied to the bride's the groom's dupatta, and they are tied in matrimony, and the entire family and the priest solemnizes the marriage, and an exchange of garlands is done, which is called the Varmala, which is also a very important ritual that is conducted on the day of the wedding. Uh, After the wedding is completed, after the wedding has been solemnized, uh, there are a few post-wedding rituals that are also followed in Garhwal as part of the Garhwali tradition. And these are also extremely important uh, for any wedding that happens in Garhwal. So now Vidai, as you can see on your screen, Vidai is wherein the bride bids farewell to her maternal home, and as you leave, your emotions are high because she's leaving her maternal home and stepping into a new life, into a new family, and starting a new, new set of experiences. So, Vidai is an extremely important part of any bride in Garhwal. As she moves towards her, as she leaves her house, she throws rice over her head, blessing her maternal home with health, prosperity, and happiness, so that, they stay happy and she stays happy in her house. Now, the next is the Delhi Arna, wherein the sister of the groom plays an important part. Now, this is the part where the sister of the groom welcomes the bride, the newlyweds, into their house, in the groom's house, and there is a puja that is done. And once Delhi means she crosses the Delhis of the house and comes inside of the house, and now this is going to be her house. Now, then there is the Sasu Bhet that happens, which is an important part, wherein the mother-in-law, she invites people around her house, neighborhood, all those who couldn't attend the wedding, they all come to the house and they meet the bride where the Muh Dikhai happens, and they offer gifts. The Sasuji also, the mother-in-law also gives gifts to people instead. Then once this is done, there is the Dhara Pujan. Now, Dhara Pujan has lost significance as most of the families have moved to the cities. Dhara Pujan was an extremely important part of a traditional Garhwali wedding, because you would go back to your village, wherever you were, and you would go to the closest stream, or a river stream, or source of water, and offer, make offerings to the local deity and to the river, and seek their blessings for a happy married life. Now, once this is done, which usually is not does not happen now in modern days, but once this is done, sweet making is another very important part of ritual that is followed in Garhwal, wherein the bride is formally taken into the kitchen and she prepares a sweet, which is offered to all the family members, and that says that yes, now the kitchen is yours and this is your house and you can start living your life. After this, the last part of the ritual post wedding is the Danroj. Now, the Danroj is wherein the bride, after 3 or 4 days, goes back to her maternal home along with her husband, where she's welcomed, and she meets them, goes, takes offerings, takes gifts for them, and then meets. It's like having a family reunion at her maternal place with her parents. So Danroj is also an extremely important part of any Garhwali wedding, and is followed even to this day. Usually, it's the brothers who come and pick up, their sister from the house. The brothers play an extremely important part. The bride's brothers play an extremely important part in the Dhanroj, and it's a great way to for the families to meet and interact with one another. And these rituals show us the kind of love that we have in our families for one another. I think rituals play an extremely important part to bring the people together. Uh, Now, coming to the most important part of any Garhwali wedding, music is like blood for any Garhwali resident. And whether it is the traditional dhol or the dhol damau, which is a drum, which is always you can always see it in a Garhwali wedding, or it is the bagpipes. Now, bagpipes were handed down by the British, and that's a tradition that is being carried on in all Garhwali weddings still. And whether it's the dhol damau, the bagpipes, or any modern instrument, it's an extremely integral part of any wedding, and it brings any wedding to life, or any festivity or any occasion in Garhwal to life. What's Garhwal without a little bit of Bedu Paku? Now, Bedu Paku, whether it is played, I'm sure you would have all heard of the Bedu Paku, and whether it is played traditionally on traditional instruments or modern percussion instruments, it is a timeless piece of music, and I would actually like you to listen to this, if you can, or maybe I'll just play that in a little while. And my wedding would with this. My wedding has not only brought me close to my husband, but has also brought me close to the Himalayas in the most astounding manner. And it continues to fascinate me. It continues to enchant me, and makes me want to know more about the Himalayas, and the traditions, the small details in the jewelry and the clothes, and there's just so much more that the Himalayas have to offer, whether it is the flora or the fauna, or just the skies, just the blue skies. Uh, it's just beautiful. I think you can just never get enough of these Himalayas. And my wedding has not only day in day out, it just increases my love for the mountains and for Garhwal and for my husband. And I would like to end my presentation on this closing quote by Pablo Neruda, wherein I'd like to quote him: I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you directly without problems or pride. I love you like this because I don't know any other way to love, except in this form in which I am not, nor are you. So close that your hand upon my chest, so close that your eyes close with my dreams. That's what love is, and that's what the Himalayas are. Thank you so much for being so patient with me.
Thank you so much, Swarnima. That was a lovely presentation, bringing us closer to, things that are so important. And, all the jewelry and its significance, it really puts forth the point that we are just, we don't wear jewelry because it's beautiful or fashionable. There is meaning to it. And I know
Yes.
Mahima is here. She's got a bullock. Mahima, if you can kind of show your bullock as well, we'll be very happy to, so that others, yeah, which is becoming a trend. Whoever meets Mahima wants to get a bullock as well, right? Yeah. So that was really nice, and so many similarities, especially in the Jaunsar region. You have, the Rampur Busheri topi, because of the
Yes.
connect that the Mahasu Devta has with the Shimla region as well. So a lot of connections. My own grandmother was from Uttarakhand as well. She was from Garhwal,
Yes.
and yeah, so I have that connection as well. And you just put it so beautifully with your illustrations and all of that. That was really, really wonderful. So I will leave the platform for questions, and then we'll start our next session, which is really exciting. They're all waiting. I think we're already at 8:30 p.m., but you know what? Saturday night fever, Saturday night vibe. Those who want to be here, stay here. And those who don't, please stay here. Somehow we had a low turnout today. So please stay here. It'll be lovely. So to have you all in our midst. So any questions? If you have any questions, please put your hands up. And also, we got a little delayed because of our newsletter, and I am the delay. Swarnima did her work on time, and I just wanted to get, our Tibetan healing yoga and our healing sessions all organized so that I can put them in the newsletter. So I'll be posting that early next week. You'll all get it in your mailbox. It's a free newsletter if you want to subscribe to it. I've already put on the chat session that how you can go and do it. And also we are accepting Uttarakhand now. Swarnima has started launched the Uttarakhand month. So all of you who want to contribute something about Uttarakhand, a blog, a blurb, photographs, please send them to hichshimachal@gmail.com. Kind attention to Swarnima. So because she will be looking into it and she will be choosing. And if you get selected, you get featured. So, okay. So Ray has a question. Ray, over to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. So what is your question?
I didn't have a question yet, but
Oh, you don't have a question. So you want to appreciate Swarnima's talk.
yes, I was amazed by the traditional stuff.
Yeah.
That's very kind of you, Ray.
And Ray is from the Middle East.
It's more traditional than any other weddings. It has so much details, and that was interesting.
Thank you, Ray, for
Thank
your
you.
comment. Thank you so much. And those of you, who are going to stay on, please stay on, because Ray is a part of our session today. He's our healer, and we'll be doing something wonderful. So please do stay on. Yeah, Swarnima. So we wanted to ask you, do you have your jewelry with you? Like we really, that's what we have our eyes on.
The city doesn't allow you to keep your jewelry with you, so I would have loved to share it with you, but yes, for our next talk, I'm going to share that jewelry with you. I'm going to show you each and every piece in person, so that you can appreciate the jewelry and the clothes for real.
Great, great. We look forward. And also, I did give a lecture a few years ago, sometime in 2016, 17, on, it's called the Enduring Splendor exhibit. So at that time, I was teaching at UCLA, and the Fowler Museum, there was an exhibit on the jewelry from the desert in Rajasthan, and also some Himalayan jewelry. So there are two links in YouTube. So if you type Enduring Splendor and you write Sonali or UCLA, something like that, you will be able to see the Enduring Splendor exhibit, where I go around and I talk about jewelry and its meaning. So that actually complements what Swarnima talked about, a Garhwal specific region. And I talk about jewelry in general in the plains and in the mountains. So you can take a look at that YouTube video. And I can post it, on the Instagram handle and all. And of course, Swarnima's video will be available shortly this week as well. So Swarnima, words of wisdom for jewelry, and then we can start with the next session.
So I would like to emphasize on the fact that we are starting with the Uttarakhand month this time, and I opened it with this small talk, glimpse of a Garhwali wedding, along with the jewelry and all. Anybody who's interested in sharing any kind of blurb or a story, anything, please do share it with us on HICHS. And it was a pleasure telling you about the small details of a Garhwali wedding. And I'm sure many of you would associate your own rituals and traditions with the Garhwali types. India actually has it is known for its big fat Indian weddings. So, and but we are so cosmopolitan now that most of the traditions and rituals are similar now. But yes, I hope I was able to address this specific Garhwali wedding for you. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And we are going to get the Garhwal back in the jewelry. That's what Himalayan Institute is here for. And that's what we want to convey, that things that are getting general, our identity is very important, because our identity makes us who we are. And with talks like this, we need to inspire each other that don't forget your traditions. Every tradition is not bad. Traditions are our identity. And if we all become general, we'll become like Kentucky Fried Chicken, or all everything will be similar. So please keep your tandoori, keep your Kentucky Fried Chicken as well. Keep your identity markers, because that's what makes us unique. Okay. And in the Himalayas, these little pockets of uniqueness is what we are all about. So don't let it go away. So, and also don't let it go so away that don't end up, if you're married, try to get married to a Garhwali. Okay. That'll spell doom, inspire others to marry Paharis after this talk.
Yes,
Maybe
absolutely.
we'll get a new cache of jewelry. So I know Shivani is here. She was a former student of mine, and she's from the Garhwal region as well. I don't know how her experiences in being a Garhwali bride has been. Shivani, if you could come online and just share a bit, and then we'll go on to the next session.
Hello, everyone. Actually, I'm traveling. I'm in a car.
Okay.
So I won't be able to switch on my video. But yeah, definitely I could relate to the things ma'am were telling, and many of the things that happened at my wedding. So I'm glad that few of the traditions we could follow. And it was really nice to see that the Garhwali tradition and culture is being addressed. And I was just talking to my husband. I am very excited that how can I contribute to it, and I really want to put up some blog or some writing that depicts the Garhwali culture, or it talks about its heritage. So thank you, ma'am, for introducing this Uttarakhand month.
Thanks, Shivani. And Shivani is a museum heritage professional as well. Shivani, I would like you to kind of engage with us as well more. And I value you. You know, all my students who have studied under me, I value you a lot. So thanks for being here, and stay on here for our next session. Okay. So Swarnima, thanks a
Definitely, ma'am.
ton. And let's go over to the next session now. Holistic Himalayas, holy and holistic. Very, very important to what we do. The journey about wellness started after my mother's demise. It was very important for me to kind of give out that healing with what my mother experienced in hospital through her doctors, her nurses. And a time came when I really wanted and it's so important to talk about this. My mother's nurse, Reena Solanki. Reena, you're here? Can I see you?
Yes.
Yeah. So Reena Solanki was my mother's nurse. And Reena has a bachelor's in nursing and has 8 years of experience. She's worked in ICUs and hospital, of course, hospitals, and with my mother. And after my mother died, I didn't want to let go of her because she's a gem. She gives healing, love, and care. And it's very rare to find the dedication that Reena has had. So I decided that, we are going to start a free clinic for people in Kullu. A lot of people live in the higher mountain areas, and just to check their blood pressure or sugar, they have to go to Kullu or the clinic in the city. So we started that, and we started encountering people with paralysis coming, and Reena gave, physiotherapy and meditation and checking blood pressures and blood sugar. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful because when you give happiness, you feel content. That contentment is unsurpassed. You don't get it by accumulating or taking from others, but by giving. So we started Reena on that track, and we started the Raka Wellness Center. We moved to Dhami, and I wanted her to kind of gain more skills in healing, and she's now a certified yoga instructor. And she heads the Raka Wellness Center. She also takes care of administration of the Himalayan Institute. And she's somebody I cannot be without. I just love her immensely. And I'm so happy that she is our HICHS yoga instructor. So she will start her talk. Please stay on for the entirety because we've got really amazing things coming. We also have Ray Younis today with us. Ray is from Qatar, from the Middle East. And you would think, what is the connection with Qatar and Himalayas? Well, there's a very deep connection. You will get that connect when he starts. I'll talk about him more when Reena stops and we start. And then after that, we have Dr. Lakpa Dolma, who's a dear friend. She's a Tibetan medicine practitioner from the Sowa Rigpa lineage, and she will talk about Tibetan healing as well. So we have these 3 pillars with us, and they are available online for sessions, both in India and abroad. Of course, Dr. Dolma's medicines can't be given in America, but she's always available for consultations. In India, she can send the medicines as well. I have had her medicines, and all of them who are here, they are trusted, they are authentic, and we bring them to you so that you can get connected and avail of these beautiful gifts. We'll be doing workshops, we'll be doing sessions. So we really want you all to be a part of this whole movement towards a better living, better thinking and doing, because we are just so fed up of everything. Even the pandemic, we thought things would change, but we just get into our own old habits. We have to break the habit pattern. We have to spread goodness. We have to think well. wellness. So let's start with Reena, okay? And those of you who she'll be talking in Hindi, I can always translate. So don't worry. Please be here and encourage our team, because we really are doing it for each one of us. The Himalayan Institute is not ours, it's everybody's. So again, those of you who are joining us today, the Himalayan Institute of Cultural and Heritage Studies is a non-profit organization, and we have a great vision. We have Mahima Dutt with us with Pahari vibes, so we want to send those vibes to you. And we have Swarnima and all of us here waiting to do a lot. All we need is your participation. So let's start with Reena, with Ray, and then Dr. Lakpa Dolma. Reena, over to you.
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम रीना सोलंकी है और मैं हिक्स के साथ 4 सालों से जुड़ी हुई हूँ। और थैंक यू सो मच सोनाली दीदी, आपकी वजह से मुझे बहुत कुछ सीखने मिला है और मैं आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ। पहले तो हिक्स में मैं राका वेलनेस सेंटर को मैनेज करती हूँ। इसमें हम वेलनेस सेंटर के थ्रू हम लोग फिजियोथेरेपी प्रोवाइड करवाते हैं और जनरल चेकअप जैसे ब्लड प्रेशर चेक करना, ब्लड शुगर चेक करना और राका वेलनेस राका वेलनेस सेंटर के थ्रू अब हम योगा को भी इंट्रोड्यूस करवाने जा रहे हैं, जिसमें अष्टांगा और हठा योगा पर प्रमुख कार्य किया जाएगा। तो मैं चाहूंगी कि जो लोग हिक्स के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं वो योगा के साथ भी जुड़े और योगा को अपनी लाइफ का हिस्सा बनाए और योगा के साथ अपनी लाइफ जिए, जिससे लाइफ जीना सरल और सुखद होगा। सो थैंक यू सो मच। धन्यवाद दीदी।
And Reena, can you say let's start with, one or two yoga poses which are very important daily life ke liye. What would you suggest so that our viewers here can start their day with a basic yoga pose, and let's initiate them all that they make it a part of their lives. So just, one or three poses that are important for the morning. Let's start with that.
ओके, सो मुझे करके दिखाना होगा?
हाँ जी, करके दिखाना होगा।
अभी यहाँ पे करना तो थोड़ा मुश्किल है और मैंने भी थोड़ा खाना खा लिया है, तो उसके बाद थोड़ा मुश्किल है।
बेसिक
सो मैं बेसिक बता देती हूँ कि जैसे सन सॉल्यूटेशन है, ये रोज रूटीन में करने से बॉडी फिट होगी और फायदा मिलेगा। बाकी मेडिटेशन है, अनुलोम विलोम है, ये सारी चीजें सुबह मॉर्निंग से स्टार्ट करें तो बहुत अच्छा होगा। और मैं एक चीज सजेस्ट करना चाहूंगी कि एक तो वज्रासन है, वज्रासन का यूज करना चाहिए। जब जैसे ही खाने के बाद वज्रासन में बैठे तो पेट से रिलेटेड, डाइजेशन से रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी।
Okay, can you just do the Anulom and Vilom, because I really want them to see कैसे करते हैं।
ओके, सो अनुलोम विलोम करने का ये प्रोसेस होता है कि जब भी हम अनुलोम विलोम करते हैं तो हम राइट साइड से स्टार्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि कहते हैं कि राइट साइड वो सन के लिए होता है और लेफ्ट साइड मून के लिए होता है। तो हम स्टार्ट करते हैं राइट साइड से और राइट साइड से स्टार्ट करने के बाद हम राइट साइड पे ही खत्म करते हैं। तो वैसे पता तो सभी को है कि करते कैसे हैं। तो हमारा हमेशा ये होता है हाथ का एंगल, और हम थंब से लेफ्ट साइड के नोस्चर को दबा के रखेंगे और राइट साइड के नोस्चर से हम इनहेल करेंगे और फिर लिटिल फिंगर से हम राइट साइड को ऑफ कर देंगे, नॉस्ट्रल को ऑफ कर देंगे और लेफ्ट साइड से एक्सहेल करेंगे, फिर लेफ्ट साइड से इनहेल करके राइट साइड पे से एक्सहेल करते हुए ये फर्स्ट राउंड फिनिश करते हैं। तो ये इसका प्रोसेस होता है।
Okay. Any other thing you want to tell us, Reena?
या मैं पेट से रिलेटेड बताना चाहूंगी कि एक हमारा एब्डोमेन बंधा होता है। तो ये बंधा वैसे करने का प्रोसेस वो उसके लिए लाइव करना होगा। जैसे कि हम सांस लेंगे तो हमारे बॉडी में बंदास होते हैं, 4 बंदास होते हैं। एक तो हमारा एनस बंदास होता है, एक एब्डोमेन होता है और एक थायराइड वाला होता है। तो और हम इन तीनों को मिला देते हैं तो ये महाबंधा होता है। तो ये बॉडी के हमारे लोअर एब्डोमेन से लेके चेस्ट और गले तक ये बहुत फायदा करता है। लेकिन इसको बंद करने की प्रोसेस ये होती है कि आप बैठे हैं तो तीनों को एक साथ बंद करना होता है। जैसे कि हम सांस भी नहीं लेंगे और ना पेट हिलेगा और ना एनस में कोई हलचल होगी। तो इसका ये प्रोसेस होता है। ये बहुत अच्छा होता है बॉडी के लिए। तो क्योंकि एब्डोमेन बंधा से ये होता है कि काफी लोगों को शुगर का प्रॉब्लम होता है, तो ये उसके लिए भी फायदा करता है। तो
Okay.
हाँ, ये
ठीक है. So basically, these are basic things. So I think one should start with Anulom Vilom in the morning, especially with Surya Namaskar, and then Anulom Vilom, which is really, I feel Anulom Vilom should be a very important part of your daily schedule so that you can breathe in deeply and breathe out, because our cells thrive on oxygen. And oxygen is very important, and bad cells don't, they don't want oxygen, but we want to give them oxygen, because the bad has to be good and the good has to be better and the better has to be best. So you all have to make an effort to do that. I know sometimes you just want to laze, you want to get up and go directly to your tea or coffee, but in the morning when you start this, our elders always say that start with Anulom and Vilom. And if you want to know more, sign up for Reena's classes. She's starting, 3-day workshops from Friday to Sunday. If you're in Shimla, if you're in Chandigarh and you want to come, we'll have pickups on Fridays, drop-offs on Sundays. You can be at Ghami. It's just not about yoga. It'll be about nature walks. It'll be about woodworking. It'll be a lot about, living in a place where you are healed and you engage with things that matter, and you're using your tactile strength and you're in a very healing environment. So we bring that to you. It's going to be very reasonable. We want access for everyone. So just keep watching, keep updated, and WhatsApp us. I've given the details in the chat in the beginning, so you can engage with us every weekend on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Thank you, Reena, so much. And we hope that you get many followers. It's all about followers, right? Get many followers, and we want you to spread yoga in your own way, in your own unique way, with your dedication and love that you have for everyone that comes your way. Thank you. So after Reena, we now want Dr. Dolma to come in. Lakpa, if you could come in, that will be wonderful, because I'd like Ray to be at the very end, the surprise at the last. Lakpa, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so let me...
I was trying to get on from this one computer, but it's not working. So I have to get back to the phone.
Is your video
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So...
Hello.
Yeah. So
Namaste.
That's Dr. Dolma. We have met in a very interesting circumstance, which I want to talk about. So a friend of mine, Ian Baker, told me about the Pure Land Farms based in Los Angeles, where I am. And as I was going through, I was like, oh, they have doctors too. Let me consult. And I felt drawn to Dr. Dolma. And we were having this conversation. And during our conversation online, she said, I belong to the Himalayas. And I thought, yeah, Tibetan origin. Of course, she belongs to the Himalayas. She says, no, I belong to Kullu Manali. I was like, oh, Kullu Manali? She said, yeah. I said, where in Kullu Manali? She said, you wouldn't know this place. It's very small. I said, no, tell me which place. You won't believe it. The place, she said, is where I would get subsidies, like, my groceries. And I said, she said, Patli Kul. Like, who knows Patli Kul? Here I am in Los Angeles getting connected to an institute which is here where she works with. And she talks about Patli Kul, where I have spent 4 years buying sabzi groceries. And then she said, my house is behind that sabzi wala, near that sabzi wala. So what are the odds of meeting somebody like that? And that person becomes connected to you. So I am so happy that Dr. Dolma is a healer. She's a Tibetan medicine practitioner with over 20 years of experience. She has taught at Jiddu Krishnamurti School in South India. She's practiced in South Africa. And here she is in Bangalore right now. All of you can connect with her online, take your consultation in conjunction with yoga. So you will have 45-minute sessions of yoga and the Tibetan medicine consultation, and then she can send medicines to you. She's licensed. And Tibetan medicine healing, we have these ancient systems which are really centuries old. And we want to keep connected with them because this kind of healing is also very important. Nowadays, doctors, even at Stanford or in India, they're all looking forward to holistic medicine, where allopathic and wholesome holistic medicine is joined together, because it's just not about your body. It's also about your mind, about your soul, what you feed to it, how you live your life. So all these aspects are very important, and that's why it's important that you listen to her. So here she is, Dr. Lakpa Dolma, a part of HICHS, and there you go.
Hello, namaste, Rashid elect. First of all, I want to say that Sonali, you are looking great. You have the energy, and I'm so glad to see that.
Thank you.
I think I'm also very glad to be connected with HICHS. I'm basically a Himachali. And I've always loved mountains. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, very clearly.
Okay, because here I'm getting very weird sound. Okay, so talking about myself, I'm a Tibetan doctor. I graduated from Dharamsala. It's a 5+1 year study as an Indian holistic kind of medicine. And the book that we study is called Gyushi, or the Fourth Tantra. And the aim and objectives of Sowa Rigpa. Sowa Rigpa is in Indian medicine, like Ayurveda. We call Ayurveda, right? So similar to that for Tibetan medicine, which now actually it's a Sowa Rigpa, Tibetan Sowa Rigpa, but it's nowadays more known as Tibetan medicine. Sowa Rigpa means science of healing. Rigpa means the science, and Sowa means the healing or the cure or something like that. So, and aims and objectives of Sowa Rigpa is to, if I say in a short form, is to remain healthy and to treat diseases, to obtain long life, and to practice Dharma, and to gain prosperity. So this is our main objectives when we start learning the Sowa Rigpa. This is it is the first column where it says Mina never now there was Sowa Rigpa Mengala Laparcha, setting what the Sowa Rigpa Mengala Laparcha, something like that. And it's okay, not go to the history. And we normally talk about the three principles, energies, which is Lung, Tipa, and Pagan, very, very similar to Ayurveda, where we talk about Vata, Pitta, and phlegm, or the Pekin, or the Kapha in Ayurveda, similar to that. And then we talk about the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, space. We talk about the formation of body, how we are formed because of these elements, and when we die, how we get back to those elements. And also this Sowa Rigpa is very, very kind of, what do you say, deep relationship with Buddhist philosophy. So throughout the text, you will see lots of connection, how we talk about the these problems or the treatments through some Buddhist philosophy, some Buddhist rituals. Even in making the medicines, there are so many Buddhist rituals involved. And so we believe that the contributing factors of illness or the disease are the environment and the season, the spirit. We also talk about spirit and behavior. Behavior in a sense, lifestyle, and your food or diet, and the wrong treatment. These are the contributing factors of illness. And the way we diagnose a patient is through tarektis, which means visual observation. Visual observation includes specifically urine. We check the urine color, the bubbles, the smell, and the steam, and the scum. All these things we check in the urine. And then we check the tongue, color of the tongue, and we talk about the taste and all that. And then the touch, which means pulse reading, which is the most important main thing, one of the main thing. If we can see the patient, touch is also very, very important, where we check the rhythm of the organs, specific organs. In the 6 fingers, we use these 6 fingers to check the health of the organs. And then we have the most important, again, interrogation. Interrogation is mainly about talking about the past history, medical history, or most of the time it's about, I think, the person or the patient's, there are different kinds of problems, family problems, anything related with their past childhood or something like that. These are included in interrogation. Through interrogation, I think most of the diagnoses are made. And through visual observation, through tongue and the urine, it makes it more clearer, right? So these 3 are more very important. And now after the pandemic, I would say this virtual consultation has become more kind of popular, I would say, and very effective, as well as people like me, a Tibetan medicine practitioner, which is not available everywhere. And through virtual this consultation, we get the opportunity to reach far and wide, so which I think is very, very good, which I had been doing for the past few years. And now I joined HICHS, through which I'm also doing this consultation. And I found it, through my experience, it has been wonderful, hearing people and face-to-face through video calling, and learning about people and their problems. And I found it very effective. And then talking of the treatment, we normally say, which means the first thing comes is the diet, and then becomes the chupa, means the lifestyle or the behavior of the person, how to live according to the seasons, change of the season, how to have a regular or day-to-day way of thinking towards your life and towards others, and how to live a holistic life. These things comes under the the behavior. And then comes the men means the medicine. So then we prescribe medicine according to the problems, and then comes the therapy. many of the problems, we can treat, or I would say do the precautions through the wrong, through right diet. These things can be treated. And also after someone is getting ill, and through medicine, when they're treated, afterwards, the main important part is to take care of their diet and the lifestyle. So if you can do these two things perfectly, there's less chance of getting sick, right? And even if you get sick, you will heal yourself faster, because we say actually the food is the medicines. So we have put the food in the first and foremost thing. So if someone is not getting treated or getting better by change of diet, then we'll also talk about, I think most of the time say and comes together, means diet and lifestyle comes together, diet and lifestyle. So both can help. Without just with these two things, we can heal ourselves or treat ourselves, right? But most of the time it's always like combination of these four. And again, we also can include the fifth treatment, which is spiritual healing, which is also included through sometimes just by some rituals. People get treated along with the medication and all that, because many of the, I would say, the problem we are facing these days due to our work pressure or like a fast moving culture, I think most people suffer from psychological problems, so we are unable to kind of dissect between the mental stress and the physical stress. So both in ways, sometimes the body physical stress actually affect your mind, and sometimes because of overthinking, some mental stress can also affect our physical health. So both are very important. So when we talk about the healing, it talks about both mind and body. So to be aligned, to be balanced. And so in these treatments, the most important things are, of course, a doctor and the medicine and patient himself, the attitude of the patient, and the nurse or the caring, loving family or friends. So these are considered very, very important. So I think this is like a short explanation or
a short version of what
short version of what I do and what I see.
Yeah. So those of
Yes.
you
And
and the best part of these methods is that you can incorporate it without stopping your regular treatment. A lot of times we get scared, oh, do I do this, do I do that? I think a lot of practitioners today say, you can do the herbal side and this side also, as long as it's not in conflict. You need to be like tell them very clearly. So it's only
because,
with what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah. Because
I
Sonali, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I want to add one thing, because I think every doctor or healer, I think their first motive should be or is to help the patient, right? So through anyways, if it's some other help, we can always encourage them to take another help. There's no loss. So, and like me, I give only herbal medicines, but they are most of patients, they come with some baggage, so they always are on some allopathic pills or something. So we always say, okay, keep an hour gap between these two medicines, and it works fine. Yeah, and sometimes it kind of, what do you call that, complement each other. Like allopathic some medicines are very strong, and then especially it's so not so good for the digestion, and then we prescribe some herbal medicine which helps for the digestion or the liver or something. So with combination, it works wonder, that we have seen. So I think we should go hand in hand. I always believe that through any means, our motive is to help, and as I want to add.
Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you want to ask Dr. Dolma, we've already put in on the chat session about how you can book a session with her. There's a calendar with the time, and you can do that. She and Dr. Dolma and Reena do it together, and you just have to be at home. So if you want to have a consultation, and then she'll prescribe you medicines, and that those can be sent. So do that. You can also go to our website, www.hichs.org, where you can book a session from there. So thank you so much, Lakpa, for your details and help in the movement of healing, um, online healing. And now with online healing, we have a wonderful person here with us, Ray Younis, who has joined HICS as well. How I met Ray is also very interesting. All these meetings are very interesting, so I have to share them. Ray and I met, I had gone to my son's art class, and I was early. And so I started exploring, and I found this new restaurant. And I went in, and Ray was standing there. So he has restaurants. He had an Indian restaurant, and I could guess he's from the Middle East. So I started speaking Arabic. I speak Arabic because I worked in Egypt. So it was very interesting that an Indian person is speaking Arabic, and an Arab person has an Indian restaurant, and we became friends. And then through our knowing each other, I realized he's a healer. And then I started introducing healing into my world, and I felt this is really, really amazing. And I want you all to be amazed. Every healing which we talked about, yoga, Tibetan medicine, and vibrational quantum healing. Quantum healing is like a vibration that energizes you and brings you on the path of healing. So it's a road that you are able to navigate with centeredness, and you can feel it. And you can feel it while you're sitting at home. Now, how's that possible? There's no logic behind it. You only need to experience it. So I thought we should do this so that you understand what quantum healing is all about. Younis is from Qatar. He's been in Los Angeles for the past so many years, and whoever have come their way onto being with him, they are on the path of healing. I'm one of them. I do want to say I was diagnosed with cancer. I have stage 3 cancer, and I experience centeredness and positivity, which helps me heal through Ray. So I wouldn't bring all these wonderful individuals if I hadn't engaged with them. I engaged with Dr. Dolma's medicines as well. And that has brought about another kind of healing into my life, and yoga and Ray. So, Ray, over to you. Please tell us about what you do, and give us a session where everybody can benefit.
Well, good morning over here. And everybody hears me? Yeah. Well, just wanted to thank all the people that shared their side of contribution, and thanking Dr. Sonali for giving me the opportunity to be part of this, part of HICS. My goal is to explain to the team or the people on this call that the healing and the word healing is not just medicine, not just somebody's praying on somebody, or the healing is actual sending and receiving. So there's many elements to sending and receiving. Sending what and receiving what? Sending energy that you can speak about and explain, or sending energy that you can touch and feel. So talk about it and explaining it and drinking it seeing the effect of it every 10 minutes, taking a course of some sort of a treatment with a traditional doctor is great, and it's fast and it's traditional. The quantum level is where we're normally taught about. We're taught about chemistry. We're taught about physics, but normally we're not in depth in quantum vibration or quantum energy. So that's where we're gonna focus our talk about the quantum energy. We're not focusing on how chemistry plays a role or how physics plays a role into this. It does play a role, but the main focus is to drive these ideas into everybody's mind, that those vibrations are physical, even though you don't see them, but they're actually physical, and they do have a task that if we engage our mind to it, the task will be accomplished. If we don't engage our mind to it, then there is no vibration, there is no sensation, and there is no feeling. Okay, so what am I talking about here? Ray, what are you talking about? We're talking about sending a certain vibration to somebody who, in their mind, they want to heal from a certain something that bothers them, or it could be just to encourage someone more than what they already encouraged. It could be energizing someone who's already energized. So it does not have to be healing sick on this side here. My side is, it could be adding value is what I call it, and it's not could be, it is adding value. I don't jump on the healing side right away. I just jump on the adding value to what you have, so the healing become a progress. Because normally in our mind, healing is when you're sick. But with this kind of quantum energy, healing is adding value to what you have, so you can progress. Because people's minds, when they progress, and they see the way they progressed, that's their healing. Let's get into, that's phase one. I don't know if anybody has any questions there, but please put your questions down, and I will answer them maybe at the end. That way I'm not distracting your thoughts from getting this point across. One thing I want to discuss is what makes all these, what makes this quantum understanding, or quantum energy, quantum healing, what makes it exist or come to our side, our bodies, our physical bodies. First of all, I'm not a doctor, and I don't make any medical claims or anything on this call. What I'm doing is I'm just transferring the ideas to you guys, and so we can discuss and eventually feel it. Some elements that needs to be taken in consideration, like how is your body ready for receiving such energies and such treatments. First of all, the very first thing that I stress the point on is hydration, and how hydrated your body, and how hydrated all of your organs. How is the liquid flowing in your body? You cannot be dehydrated and get any treatment, whether it's traditional medicine or any medicine, or any treatment, or any healing. Because if you're not drinking water, especially like ionized water, like something that's really has a little bit of a pH level to it, where it's at least the pH level on that water is at least 8.0 or 8.5 or 9.0, or a little bit above, not more than that, not more than 9.5 on the pH level. What you want to do is you want to get this those cells hydrated, because those cells in your bones are 13% water. Your body, your whole body is 75% water. Even your brain cells are 97% water. So if we look at it, if we're not hydrated, we're not getting treated anyways. So no matter what we do, hydration is key. That's one. Two, if we don't get ourselves hydrated, then we're dehydrated, and then when we eat our food, and then we have to produce acid to digest. The body is programmed to do that. And correct me if I'm wrong, all the doctors on here, okay, on this call. I'm not jumping into medicine here. I'm just jumping into how can we get ourselves ready to receive a healing. So your pH level and hydration should be high, or should be normal. It cannot be, oh, you're dehydrated, and then you say, oh, I don't get a good effect of it. In either case, the person or the patient will see the effect. Now I'm not contradicting myself, but they will receive the effect, but I have to work harder. I have to push harder to get them to feel and touch the energy. If they're not hydrated enough, then that makes things harder. That's what I'm trying to say. Or they take longer to see the effect. I met Dr. Sonali, like she said, in one of my restaurants, and we hit it off really good because, like she said, she spoke a little Arabic. I have an Indian restaurant. It kind of made it interesting to explore many ideas, and one of them is how can we help the nonprofit? How can we be part of the nonprofit? How can we add value to what Dr. Sonali is doing and her team, add value to what Reena is doing, the doctors on this call. What do I mean by add value? Add value, like when my father had his heart surgery, in the hospital, we had a person walked in there, and I think she was a psychologist, or she was something that has nothing to do with traditional medicine. She was just there before the operation, a night before. And before the open heart surgery, she walked in and she had her smile, and she sat down, and then she started talking to him about, don't worry about the surgery. Technology advanced. You should be feeling good tomorrow. After the surgery, I'll come and visit with you. If you need anything, let me know. So all these good talks and energy that she sent to him made him feel a little bit better before the surgery. So what I'm trying to say here is, I'm trying to add value to the result of the surgery. When we sit down with the patient and we give him some sort of energy before the surgery, my research is going to be on 5 people that received the vibration and energy before the surgery, and 5 people did not receive it. The result on the 5 people that received it is going to be phenomenal.
And I do want to add a little bit here, Ray, because, a lot of people think about vibrations as, oh, this is so out of this world. We don't believe in it. And that's why a friend of mine who's a neuroscientist, Dr. Shantanu Ghosh, and I, we decided that we'll write a paper on this about how these energies transmit and how we can measure them using scientific equipment. And Ray is all for that. And I want to tell you that's one of our research projects with the healing systems that we have. We really want them to be holistic in every way, scientific, and things that people brand as being unscientific, but we want a very balanced picture. So sorry to break your thought process, but Ray, I wanted to add that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, basically we're trying to make it exist. We're trying to put it out. We're trying to have traditional medicine. There is no way out there is no way out of our part of healing for a better result. Not just somebody walks into somebody's bed before the surgery and makes them feel good, and that's it. You know, that's nice and dandy, but we want to be in that position, adding more value. That's where I'm going to focus on my researching that part. Also, I wanted to add that there is no checking on what they ate the night before, or their pulse, or their history of family, or anything. It's just we go straight to the point, and we have once they receive those vibration and sensation that they felt themselves, not just they were told about it, they can start their own journey by telling us, telling their own minds how to send this vibration to comfort. If I have a pain in my shoulder and I receive vibrations and I sense it, I would just tell my mind to take these vibrations and take it to the part of the body that's hurting you, and those sensations will listen to the mind. If you, all you have to do is believe that your mind is the one that created computers, the one that created spreadsheets, the one that created all these numbers that change on those spreadsheets. It's not like spreadsheets created us. We created these numbers. So our mind is very well capable of taking those sensations after you feel them, not taking sensation that you did not feel, because the mind is just a formula, bunch of formulas. So if you give them that formula and you give them those numbers, those vibrations are there, and you feel them, then you're good to go on that mindset, telling them that this is where I feel in pain, and that's where I want the sensation to go, and this is where your healing starts. I know you have questions, and I don't want to go any deeper than this. I like to, place my session with you guys based on questions today, because the more questions you have, the more the whole team will benefit. So, me having said that, I do not want to go any deeper because I don't want to lose everybody on this call. So let's just get some questions and we'll go from there.
If anybody has questions, nobody has raised their hands as of yet, Ray. So maybe we can do a session where people can volunteer. Would you like that? And how many people would you like to volunteer?
To any sessions, unless I have some questions, because you cannot take a session without meeting with the minds. My goal here is to have a meeting of the minds, so we know. When you want to go drive to Vegas, you have to put your GPS on Vegas and push start and go.
Okay.
So
can people raise their hands so that I can call their names out?
I have a question, Ray, and I have been meaning to ask this from you forever now, because Sonali often tells me about the sessions that she has, and how happy she is once when you are around. She often tells me that you don't open up your mind to a lot of these things, to that energy. I don't know, I'm not as receptive as she is, so I was extremely curious. So she has often told me that you are really good with energies, and I really want to experience it myself, if I may.
Yeah, you can do that. I usually do it one-on-one. That way I'm more focused and know distractions and no other energies and thoughts are into the process. Absolutely. Because my and your energy is supposed to be the one who are exchanging the vibration. But when you have more than 5, 10, 15, 20 people looking at it, then everybody's driving some energy to it, and then it doesn't get as effective as we want it to be. So that's quantum. Now on this call, it's multiple quantums happening, because everybody's thinking and looking and finding out and sending. And those vibrations, they are physical, and I know you know that. Everybody's thinking, everybody's sending and receiving. We are just as strong of a machine as we can think of it. And I know some doctors don't agree with me, but most doctors, they do. And with all the respect to all the opinions. So what would you ask yourself, if you want to try the session, are you trying it from what perspective you're trying it? Trying it because you want to get a special treatment, or you have something you want to work on in your mind? What made you want to try it?
I have a lot going on in my mind, and I want to straighten up my thoughts. But this flow of energy, I have doubts because I'm trying to work on the energy flow myself to, make it more positive, give myself a more positive environment, rather than just focusing on, a few things. So, yeah.
How many glasses of
Out
water?
of curiosity,
How many bottles of water you drink a day?
I always, I keep a glass of water handy for me all the time. So once it finishes, I keep refilling it. So I'm maybe about,
People, they keep a glass of water next to them, but they never drink it.
no, I drink, I drink, I do drink, and I keep refilling it, so at times it just becomes too much. And like, I'm just having water.
Out of 6 or 7 out of 10 people that put a glass of water next to them before they go to bed, they walk away
And
in
they
the
don't
morning
drink.
and they don't touch it.
Yeah.
So,
It happens
so that
with me occasionally, but usually I get up, have a glass of water. I am having water the whole day, which plays havoc with my appetite, and I'm like, okay, I need to eat also.
well, you asked that you would like to experience it. You asked like you would like to get those sensations to see how how it feels. And if that's the case, then we can go ahead and start sending, and maybe at one-on-one we can make you feel a little bit more. But I promised Dr. Sonali that I would jump in this call and we'll try to challenge it a little bit and send it while everybody. So let's see what.
She needs to she needs to sit with her. You need to see her hands, right?
If possible.
Yeah, not like that. You need to move back and put the computer in a way that he can see your hands. Yeah, but put them on your lap. On your lap.
Okay, then okay, let me just.
Yeah.
Is this okay?
Perfect. Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Go back a little bit. Yeah, go back. Perfect. This is it. Yeah. Okay. The reason why I chose that position, because everybody could see. That's one. Two,
Okay.
it's more than one. More than one part we can. So it's easier to also see and recognize if there is any sensation. And of course, the patient, usually the one who's supposed to tell you, because you don't usually feel it yourself. The patient has to tell you where are those sensations, and then I will start directing the patient where to take these sensations and how to do it, so they can benefit from this energy. This energy is not just to have someone touch it and leave. This is not a museum to touch and look and things and go. This is more of a serious energy coming in. And I'm going to start by just what was your name again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Swarnima.
Swarnima?
Yes, Swarnima.
Okay, Swarnima, just do not move your arms, your hands, unless the sensation is there moving it, so we can get a real sign on this process. Is it okay?
Yes.
So we're not moving the hands unless the sensation, is there, and the sensation takes over, and you can tell us what's happening. Correct?
Okay.
So I'm gonna start. It might take a few minutes, but again, everybody put your questions down before you forget it, because I'm gonna base most of this talk about questions, because I'm good at answering these questions to what makes sense to this energy. Okay. It's just to let you know, what happens is just a basic yogic position, basic inhaling and exhaling. Those two signs of positioning and inhaling, exhaling from the terms that I'm sending and I'm teaching, is a form of telling the mind that I'm positioning myself to receive. Once you go your position, and once you go and you hydrate yourself and you drink and you sit and do that, that means you're telling your mind, I'm receiving. Now the mind is waiting. Mind is just another conscious being there. The mind is waiting, and the mind is like, okay, show me what am I waiting for? So now you're in communication with yourself. So more of a self-healing than anything else. Ray doesn't send the healing to you. Ray send the tool and the energy for you to heal yourself.
Okay.
Dr. Sonali, you can be sitting in that same position also if you like. So you can receive while we're sending, you can receive, and that will be part of your healing also.
Okay.
Since we have you on emergency alert for the past few weeks, so let's just keep it going while we're here, so everybody can contribute and send in Dr. Sonali her healing with me. So and what city are you in?
I'm in Delhi.
You're all the way in Delhi, huh?
Yes.
So I have to send you a special service to get you Delhi from LA here.
Yes.
So Ray, my hand has started to go up. So I don't know if others can see, but my hand is lightly above my lap. And that happens each time Ray gives me healing. So it's like a shaft of cold air which comes under my palm and pushes my hand upward. And I don't do it, it happens on its own.
You can switch the screen back and forth so we can check on her too.
Okay. Oh, you can't see her? I can remove my pen and can you see her? Yeah, we can all see her, but I think you're on the phone, that's why you can't see her. So you have to shift the screen so you can see her.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I can feel vibrations on the palms of my hand, which are moving.
Don't move it. Just try to feel the sensation, and the more the sensation increases, the more you can tell the whole team what happened.
Okay.
And Swarnima, as you go through the changes, just keep telling Ray so that he can understand what you're
Okay. I can feel vibrations in the palms of my hand. They're wanting to become light, but I think gravity is just not letting it rise.
Just take a deep breath and let your hand operate on its own. That way you can feel what the energy is. Now I can see more people on the screen. Everybody is relaxed and let their arms relax. And they will receive on their own without you having to interfere.
Yeah, and all of you who are sitting, you can sit in the same position, just be relaxed. Those who receive the energies, they receive it. And if you do, that's really wonderful. And if not, it's still wonderful. So
They will
all of you just,
everybody their own ways. Everybody will receive their own ways.
yeah.
Let's just go for us, for that way, what they feel, they tell us. Like Dr. Sonali just did, she felt and she told us. We'll keep it that way I'm focused.
Yeah. But all of you have to keep your hands in the same position.
My palms have become really warm.
Your palms becoming what?
Warm.
Warm.
Warm. Okay, good. Very good. That's a good sign.
Ray, my left hand is having movement as well.
Yeah, we got it.
I'm having tingling sensation in my little finger, left hand.
Left hand, finger. Okay. Okay, you're getting there. You have a lot of doubts on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So stop doubting.
Ray, my hand is like in the front. Both my hands.
You can show them. You see it?
Yeah.
I don't have the screen in front of me, but I don't know if you all can
I
see.
can see.
Yeah.
I can see your hands in the air.
Yeah. So I have like, it's very cold under my hand, and the energy just lifted it up. It became very light, and I can feel vibrations in my body.
Thank you, sir.
And again, this is very real. I'm saying it from a very, very balanced and scientific view. I'm like an archaeologist. I would never lie about this. This is very, very real. And anybody else who feels the same, just raise your hands, because we really want this gift to go to everyone.
And they're gonna feel. Everybody's gonna feel in their own different ways, and you can just say it. You can just tell us without raising the hand, because that I have to start all over again on that person if they raise their hand, because it gets to a certain level. You don't want to lose those sensations. You take them in. Don't put them in front of the door and keep them there. You want to get them in, and that's my job.
Okay. So anybody feels anything, just talk about it, unmute yourself.
All
Maybe in a
right.
few
So
minutes.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about it. Whenever I have experienced these healing sessions, I always feel very calm after that. And what Swarnima is experiencing at the moment, as Swarnima, I've experienced the similar things, the tingling sensation,
Yeah.
energy under the palm, and suddenly everything becomes very calm. So yeah, meanwhile, when you started it for Swarnima, I had also kept my hand on my thigh, and I definitely felt the energy and the healing that comes along. More than that, the calm, the peace that comes with that.
Vanika,
Actually,
Vanika, can you share, because I saw a message pop up. Vanika, if you can unmute yourself and share what you experienced.
Yeah, hi. I experienced vibrations in my.
Introduce yourself first and then talk about it. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Vanika Chopra from Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh. I'm Sonali's friend, and I could feel vibrations in my spine going up till my head, till the back of the top of my head. I could feel the vibration.
Okay, let's keep it focused. One person and very brief.
Okay. Thanks, Vanika, for sharing. Anybody else?
Ray, the vibrations are continuing, but you know, my hand wants to feel light, but I feel pressure on top of the palm, which is not
And which hand is that? Which hand?
especially the right one. And I'm just feeling a little sleepy.
Little what?
Sleepy.
Sleepy. Okay, that's normal. But we this is Swarnima. This is your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a little bit more. Let's go to Vanika. The sensation from 1 to 10. Where do you call the sensation on your back from 1 to 10?
The sensation of me wanting, you know, the hand wanting to rise on its own is a good 6, but the pressure that is pushing it down on top of the hand, on top of the palm, is about 7. You know, it's just not letting it.
There's a force there that's that
Yeah.
you want to bring it up, and then it doesn't want to bring you up. That's okay. It's fine. That's at least we have a sign. At least we have some sort of a sensation. And then I'll tell you you have to define the pain and the location of the pain, and tell your mind to take the sensation to that section, and your mind will take that vibration that you have in your hand to the section that you're completing. It will do it because that's your. It's not somebody else's mind. It's your mind, and it's your vibration. Now for the next one, Vanika.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just talk. Don't keep the same position you have. Relax, and just tell us from 1 to 10. Where is the?
It's quite high. It's like maybe 8. I can feel myself, you know, like vibrate, go round and round till my head.
Okay, that's perfect. Just go ahead and make sure you tell your mind that those sensations and those vibrations need to go to the areas that you feel like you want to happen. For example, you want it to go to the energy side where you can get some energy. You want it to go to the motivation side so you can be motivated. You want to go to the pain side so you can be painless. You treat yourself. Anybody else? Dr. Solanki, you have both.
I can't hear you properly, Ray.
You can't hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you, but not properly. If you can be louder.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Your hands, can you tell me where they're at and what's from 1 to 10?
10 on both.
Okay. Both.
Yeah, they're 10 on both and very cold from the bottom. And I can feel vibrations on my my last finger, middle finger, my palms. Yeah.
Okay, you can do this and start again. That's just for you.
Yeah.
For everybody else, they stay the same. Who else is trying to experience this on this call?
Anybody else? Because don't write in the messages, just be on, like, just unmute yourself and tell, you know, if you're feeling it, that's wonderful. If you're not feeling it, that's also wonderful. Some just receive, some don't.
No, they all receive it. If they tell me they want to receive, they will receive.
Okay.
Tell me I don't want to receive. It's a mind thing, guys. It's not anything else.
Okay.
It's just adding more power to your mind to move things around.
Hi, Ray. This is Margarita. I met you at Sonali's house a little while back.
I met so many
And
people.
Margarita is my boss.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I've been working very, 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 very hard, and I was not sleeping. I was working last night, and so I'm trying to get recentered and get my energy back. And I was starting to feel in my hands the tingling, and in my wrists.
Okay, and which hand is that?
Which hand, Margarita?
Which hand is it?
Both,
Both. Okay,
but except I had to pick up the phone. So no, the left hand not as so much, but it was both.
Move your hand. I'm good with just you answering my questions, yes or no. Do you feel it? Do you feel it more on the left side or more on the right side?
Now I feel it more on the left side.
More on the left side. Okay, that tells me one thing. Okay.
Me too. It's more on the left now.
Okay. All right. And from 1 to 10, where is that on the left side?
It's an 8.
8 of what? Of sensation, or 8 of heat, or 8 of tingling?
8 of heat, 8 of heat, 8 of sensation, the vibration, 8.
How about some numbness?
I can feel numbness on the fingertips.
See, all these things, guys, all these sensations in different forms, in different parts and certain parts, all of it, half of it, quarter of it, 1 to 10, 7, 2, 1, 8, 9, all these things, they mean something. It's data for us. People who get involved in this quantum power, they want research, they want data, they want numbers, they want what happens here, what happens there, on what number, on what sensation, where it came in, what finger, what hand, what. So it's not about the finger or about the hand or about the part. It's about the intensity of that power when it comes on in certain areas. I know this is a whole different study. I need to make books about this and explain it in a better way. At least I'm able to what I say I'm doing. At least I'm able to transfer and have people feel it. I wish more people will put their minds into saying like, okay, let me try this and put their hands and feel it.
Yeah. And I do want to add at the experiential level, because I have been taking healing sessions with Ray, and I've had 3 surgeries in about a month and a half. And I do know that the pain goes away, and it has really helped me. And that's why it's very important for me to bring this forward, because I totally trust this energy. And at the scientific level too, when you say energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form to another. We see it with light and vibrations, Shivangi, you have a question?
Actually not a question, but like in a brief moment, I had a tingling sensation in my lower back. I don't know why. And then right now I'm having a sensation in my right hand. There's a tingling sensation. It will be around like 8 or 9. The heat could be around 6 or 7, and I would say tingling is 9 in my right hand prominently. I have it in my left also, but that's lower than the right. I have more sensation in my right.
And okay, that's really great, Shivangi. Ian, you're here, you're listening in. I know you have studied a lot about the Buddhist yoga tantras and all of these. And I've seen that in modern day life, a lot of people just kind of sideline all of this ancient knowledge. I wanted to know what are your thoughts about it. And I know you're very also scientific in your approach, and of course you believe in ancient traditions as well. So I really feel there are people out there who kind of want to bring these things out to the fore so that people can benefit. The whole idea is to benefit what our ancients and all that wisdom that is stored. So Ian, if you could talk a little bit about your experiences.
Yeah, well, certainly I think it's hold on a second here. I'm speaking from near Dharamsala in India at the moment. And Ray, it's been very, very interesting for me to hear, everything that you've been presenting. And I certainly look forward to a time when I can meet in person with you and experience this more directly. But as Dr. Sonali was saying, certainly from my experience, these are, the word real, of course, is very complicated to say, but these are experiential, these are experiences that we have as human beings and that we have been able to see and document in so many traditions. But what I really find fascinating about the work you're doing, Ray, is that you're kind of bringing things that are otherwise often in very esoteric traditions, but you're making them actually very, very accessible by presenting them in just very real terms. And I think that's really the gift that you're bringing. And sometimes when they are no longer kind of cloaked in, cultural traditions and things like that, but actually become part of our lived experience, it's really, as you say, kind of just bringing attention in using our minds basically to a greater capacity than we tend to use them, which is often more passive than active. And so this way in which you're encouraging everyone, all of us, to work with those energies that you're able to sort of to transmit or to activate, I think it's very exciting, because I think this is really the direction that so many things are going to have to move in the future, which is looking at, what are the kind of hidden algorithms that underlie so many esoteric cultural traditions, and rather than looking at them sometimes in their unique forms, but looking at really what is the underlying essence. So that's been my experience of what you've been presenting, and I really appreciate that. And I think that's something that, in this world we need more and more, is for people to find individually that they have this capacity to heal within themselves, but that there are gifted people like yourselves who are able to actually activate that innate quality that we have to self-heal.
Thanks so much, Dr. Baker, for your kind words. And it's so true that activating that energy, a person who's gifted can activate that energy. And I feel because I've been experiencing, I know that how painful it was after my surgery, and how the very next day I was okay. My doctor feels very amazed. He told me also that he's very amazed that I'm healing so fast. And that's why I had 3 surgeries in 1.5 months, less than 1.5 months. He normally doesn't do that. So I feel the path of healing is so, it's allowing me to, through Ray's quantum healing and the quantum path, that I'm able to use the energy that he allows me to access to heal myself.
Yeah, and then we put more focus of the minds, and we did like more than one mind kind of a thing, to the same issue, which is called sometimes beaming. The beaming process we worked with the team, and the team was having Reena and Mahima and Dr. Sonali and I, all 4 minds working on one issue, which allowed everybody to progress. Everybody became a little bit more sensational, more receptive, if you want to say it.
And I do want to add that, you know, whenever Ray does healing sessions with me, he does it on the phone. He sometimes comes, doesn't have to even touch, just, you know, the vibrations that they just transfer. It's like energy transfers, right? I just had a surgery yesterday, and I'm motivated enough and positive enough to be here today. So I'm just telling you all, this is my experience. And I totally trust this experience because all that it gives to me is centeredness and positivity. And Ray, in the past so many years, has never charged a dime for this. He does it just like that. And I urged him that, you know, let's you join the nonprofit, you know, let's all benefit. He can get it to it full time. The nonprofit can benefit from it, and people who engage with us can benefit with it. And that's the whole purpose of doing the wellness center. It's for everybody. We really want everybody to benefit. So yeah, there are others who felt it also. Snigdha, can you tell your experience as well?
Hi Sonali, hi everybody. I'm feeling a lot of tingling in both my palms and both my soles.
Okay.
What is it? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I'm feeling a lot of tingling in both my palms and in the soles of my feet, especially the left sole.
Left ones? The left ones, correct?
Yeah.
The hands, both the hands, and the left sole especially.
The left what again? The last
The left
part you
sole.
said?
The left sole.
The left sole.
The left sole?
Yeah, the center of
It's
the foot.
tingling.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And Vinny had a question as well. Vinny, you had your hand raised.
Let's not jump too fast. Who were we talking to? We were talking to somebody, right?
Snigdha.
Yeah, just keep going on that one. I need to know more about this one. Both hands and the feet at the same time.
Yeah, hand and feet.
Both
Okay,
my
can I?
palms are tingling, and my left sole is tingling as well.
Interesting. You said both hands and your left foot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes.
But more on the left side than just the right side when you talk
Yeah,
about both.
more on the left side than on the right.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next person. I'd like to go back to Ian.
Ian, yeah.
Was this any your study or your research? Was this ever anything like that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear properly. Was it anything part of my research, you said?
Yeah, in your research, have you ever encountered through the years something like that?
Well, certainly, people have experience from work that I've done and with Himalayan shamanism and other things, this kind of effects on the body, on the mind, well, on the energy in particular. But as I said, it's often filtered through kind of cultural forms and metaphors and things like that. And so what I find, particularly very, very interesting here, in the sense of the quantum healing as you're presenting it, is that we're really looking at an underlying dynamic that we can see happening across tradition. But often the actual underlying mechanism gets sort of lost within the belief systems and the metaphors, really, that are often taken as being literal realities rather than just symbols. So in that sense, yes, I've experienced it in myself and others.
Your research you've been doing all these years, I really was admired by you and Dr. Sonali, how you put time and effort to fly and travel and ride. And you put a lot of heart into this and passion. Was your research, I'm very specific about the word research, ever thought that this type of quantum vibration exists? Did you ever mention this in your research, or you were looking for it? These things are people are asking for it, and they never got it. And when they see this, they tell me, "Oh, I was trying to write about this. I couldn't start, and now I can write." Is that right? Is this right? The response I'm getting from people, or what do you think about this research work?
Yeah, well, first of all, I have to say that I don't know if it's just my audio here, but I'm getting a lot of sort of staccato, so it makes it a little bit hard.
It's from
to hear.
Ray's audio, like even I couldn't hear, but in a sense.
So I'm getting the essence of it, and I think if I'm not mistaken, how can I? From what I understood, that as I think you were saying, I haven't written about this in particular. I've been looking at, as I mentioned, sort of these kind of phenomenology through in the context of particular cultural traditions. So I think in a certain sense, what you're opening up, is the possibility, which of course is different than what Dr. Sonali and I, for example, in anthropology and archaeology, we tend to work within, with the material at hand and looking at it within the context in which we find it. But I think, and this is more another level, which I think is, as I was trying to infer before, so important as we move forward, is to kind of really, take the bolder step of trying to look at what is underlying these cultural the phenomena that we see within different settings, and to look at it in more, physical terms or physics terms, in quantum terms, really. And then what we do is by looking at the actual phenomena that that's often sort of clothed and in metaphor and belief and other things, we're looking at it in more kind of neutral terms, but then strangely enough, it becomes more accessible because we don't feel like we have to make some cultural leap in order to experience something that's really innate to our own biophysical organism, which is, as I think you've been implying, is energy, because all things that we take to be matter are ultimately energy. And I think this is really, what I'm understanding from your work with quantum physics quantum healing to be, is where we sort of we loosen our minds from our, projected sense that everything is matter and therefore physical, and therefore we have to be touching it for it to have an effect on it. But I think what you're showing and demonstrating really is that energy is not dependent, is non-local in that way. And that's a very exciting new paradigm that I think can start to come into the kind of research that you're referring to.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. It's just very, every day I feel like it's a delay in the universe to receive such a day that goes by, and somebody getting knowledge, because somebody's mind out there, when a lot of minds out there, if they receive this energy, they will surprise the world with the result.
Ray, your audio is really, I don't know, maybe you're near some electronic device. That's why it's interfering, but it's very difficult to understand. Yeah.
I just want to say that I can feel heat coming out of my hands. This absolutely sweaty and red because of the heat.
We need to clear that. There's a lot of things that we need to clear. We need to you need personality to work with it, and I'll be directing her what to do. You definitely that healing. Dr. Sonali will work with you. We can give her a free session. I'm not into charging people at this point. Out to the team and show them.
Okay, half the things we can't hear. Yeah.
I'm
You
amazed.
You're amazed. So, Vinny?
I'm amazed
Yeah,
because
hi, Ray and Sonali. How are you guys doing?
You're good. Swarnima, I'll get back
Okay.
to you after I'm done with Vinny.
yeah.
Yeah. And Ray, as much as I wanted to be a part of the session and actually do the practice, Saturday mornings are unfortunately the busiest day for me for work meetings. But what I really wanted to say was that Sonali was so thoughtful to organize 2 healing sessions with Ray, and they were so therapeutic for me. The first one, I actually got very emotional, and I had very low levels of energy with, different things going on in my life, work related and other stuff. And I remember the next day when I woke up, I had so much more energy. I would say from a level of 0 to 1, I went up to 5. And I felt like energetic, but at the same time, there was this calmness within that I felt that was very, very blissful almost. Like I had this smile on my face, this calmness around me, and this energy to do things that I would not ordinarily do. So I wanted to thank Ray for that. The second session that I had, my energy levels actually went up to 8. And I felt even more energetic, and I felt like there was a huge change in my mindset. Like, somebody mentioned there was a shift in the paradigm. Like my mindset, I believe in a lot of sources of energy, positivity, good thoughts, positive vibes. But here I was actually experiencing something over the phone with Sonali and Ray on the other side, who actually did this amazing, incredible therapeutic practice that actually helped me heal. So I really wanted to take this moment and this opportunity to thank both of them, and also to share with the other group members that how marvelous it was for me. It was calming, therapeutic, emotional in some ways, but my body felt energized. And some of the things that Ray mentioned in that one-to-one session, I remember them every day. There are times that I feel low, and Sonali will say, "Oh no, Vinny, you remember what Ray said? Let's do it this way." And that's how I proceed every day. So this was not a question, it was just a comment that I wanted to make in support of Ray's practices. I'm a firm believer now, and I hope I can get more sessions, and I encourage all of you to try them as well.
And Vinny is on the East Coast, we are on the West Coast. So it's, the whole idea of connecting. And I feel if it's vibrations, you can connect, online. So
absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much. Please continue your session. I missed out on actually practicing because Ray and Sonali, I was unfortunately working, but I wanted to take this opportunity. Thank you so much for all the marvelous work that you're doing.
Thanks, Vinny. And I decided, our healing wellness center has to be this. And Ray is, of course, a part of it. I'm going to bring Ray as a ray of hope to Dhami. Shimla, after I'm done with my treatment, this whole year is long. I'll be going through a lot of treatments, but with Ray on my side, I don't feel alone. I feel positive. I feel centered. I feel I'm on the path of healing already. I have no fear. Yeah. Swarnima, you wanted to say something. You can put your video on so we can hear you. Last time I kind of cut you.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you to Ray, because I'm usually, like Sonali calls me, that I close my mind to all these energies. But yes, I did feel a lot of vibrations in my hand. I was just telling my daughter that I could feel, it going in circles in my left and the right hand. Though I couldn't, my hand did not, it did not rise like Sonali's did. But I could feel my hand wanting to rise. But like I mentioned that, it was as if somebody was pushing it down and not letting it rise up. Maybe, a lot of doubts in mind. So I'm positive to this positive energy that Ray has shared with me, and I'm feeling much lighter in the mind also. In fact, that's.
Yeah, I can't hear what Ray is saying, but I do know that the first time I tried it, my hand didn't rise either. And the rising of the hand, I've asked Ray, like, what is this? He says that humans always need a sign, and that is the sign. And the rest is once you start experiencing it, that there is a a higher force, an energy in action. All you need to do is to let it in. That's it. And it doesn't matter if your hand rises or not. As long you can experience
it's
the
the energy.
vibration, that's important. It's not magic. And I've experienced
Absolutely wonderful.
so many times. My biggest skeptic is my friend in Delhi who's a lawyer, and he said, he was in London and Ray was here. He said, Sonali, I don't believe in all of this, but really, I experienced it. And he said the next day he was in Cambridge for a conference and he kept his hand for the longest time. He said it didn't move, it didn't go up. So yeah, it's about being centered. It's about being positive. It's about believing that we are humans. We are capable of so much, and there are gifts that allow us to access these energies. And it's not magic. It's like, I really like the way Ian put it. So you know, accessing these energies, and that our brains are, you know, more powerful than we believe them to be. And you know, this even when we enter a home, we have some good vibrations, some bad vibrations. We are all about vibrations and energies that connect us all. So this session that we did today with yoga, with Tibetan medicine, and with Ray's quantum healing is all about that. The Tibetan medicine part, of course, is only for India. She works, Dr. Dolma works with Pure Land Farms in Los Angeles, but I wanted her to connect to India online. So she's doing this only for Indian residents, but you can always take a consultation. And if you want to learn about yoga, you can connect with Reena and Ray. Yeah, Ray, is that your hand being raised or you're telling me to keep quiet?
I tell you that I'm getting called to be on at 10 o'clock LA time, and it's 9:49 now. So I have 11 minutes. Another call.
Okay. You can leave. You can leave. All of those who want to be a part of this, who want to have one-on-one sessions, well, you can connect with us. Mahima, if you can just put it on the screen, on the chat again, how you can book a session in America or in India with Dr. Dolma or Ray. We are here to facilitate that. Again, thank you for being part of this. I know it's late, and all of you, and also thanks to Dr. Ian Baker for giving his comments, and all of you here, you know, Vanika, Vinny, Margarita, Rajul, everybody who's here. Thanks for listening in, because this is important. This is very important. Do we want to live our lives just going from a 9-to-5 job and doing what we do, or do we want to explore further and explore, enlighten, and expand? That is the tagline for the Himalayan Institute. So you get one life, experience it to the fullest. Don't block your minds to anything that comes your way. Did we ever believe that we'll be on the moon, or that we'll be engaging like this on a screen? It's all possible. What your minds can think, we can do. So that should be the fitness test for all of you. So be positive, be centered, and whatever journey that you're given, embrace it, because there's a lesson to be learned in that. There is a power to transform where you are. And as Hafiz says, you know, when God shaped you and put you in that position, he already carved a map for you. What you do with that map, how you navigate that map, is in your hands. So will you explore further or block your mind? Okay.
Thank you so much, Ray. Thank you. Thanks. Good night.
So we'll meet next week for another conversation on the Himalayan Institute. Bye.
I want to say something that
Thank you.
We can't hear you, Ray. You have to be louder. Yeah. But we will do such sessions in between. We'll do some free sessions in between for all of you to empower you all. Okay. Again, this is not about the money. This is about the wheel moving forward. So all of you just connect with us. And Dr. Manju Kak just joined us. Ma'am, you missed a beautiful session. I'll send you the recording. And ma'am will be joining us end of April for her talk on Kumaon, the wood craftsmen of Kumaon, craftspersons of Kumaon. And we will have more sessions like this, Dr. Kak, and I'll keep sending the link. So we are signing off right now. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't get the link before.
Oh,
So
I'll add you to the group if you want, because I don't think you're in the group. I'll add you so you get them easily.
yeah, please do. And please do send me the YouTube. I really missed something that I wanted to hear.
Okay, ma'am. We'll do the session again in April. We'll definitely do it. So
thank you.
Yeah, have a lovely night, all of you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.